Good morning. I hope that you are doing well this morning, enjoying your favorite cup of coffee, your favorite cup of tea, or depending on when you are watching this video, maybe you've already transitioned over to water. Let's get into today's video topic. I hear this all the time, and this may be you. You can raise your hand. It's okay. If I had more time, I would be more successful. Now, the way that I want to talk about that specific statement and that story that you might be telling yourself is really three ways. I want to talk about time leverage, what that means, AI and how we can use it in our business. You're like, how are we going to get all of that in? And multitasking at its best, even when people say you can't multitask. All right. So if I had more time, I would be more successful. What you're telling me is that every single time you sit down to work, there are specific tasks that you are starting from scratch. If you do a task more than once, then that is the task that we need to start with in documentation. So then how can we time leverage and use AI? Well, we can't time leverage first because you haven't documented it, but how can we use AI? I would recommend using AI in such a way that helps you to, number one, document that task, but ways that you can streamline that task. So I think for business owners, there are a couple of different ways. And in this particular episode, the way that we're going to talk about it is AI being your coach. I like to think about AI is really protecting my blind side. And so I have ways that I complete specific tasks, but I want to improve them. I want to streamline them. And what are things that I haven't considered that would just make this particular task amazing, right? So that's how I'm using AI. Time leverage is the fact that I'm actually documenting that task. And now, instead of sitting there every single time I start in my mind, that's cluttered with everything in the kitchen sink, what's for dinner, the kids' schedule, your husband's schedule, your partner's schedule, whatever it is that you are doing, your brain is cluttered with all of that stuff. And so you're going to forget things. I mean, advanced maternal age, I call myself. I can't keep all of that stuff in my head anymore. And I don't want to. Keeping all of that stuff in your head is what overwhelms you, exhausts you. It's why you're so tired, either at the end of the day or at the end of the week. Okay. So time leveraged is we're going to raise our hand and we're going to commit. If I have done a task more than once, that is the first task that I need to document. And AI is my coach, my blind side, and helping me. How can I improve it? How can I streamline it? What am I not thinking about? That fear of missing out, that's your AI coach, right? And now it's time leverage. One of my members, EJ, one of the things that she said, I felt silly when I first documented my first task. I felt silly. I'm a solopreneur. I don't have a team. Why do I need to jot all this stuff down? Because I can do it and I can do it quickly. But here is the aha moment that she experienced when she said, the next time that I needed to do that task, I pulled it out. And what I realized is that I did not have to make all of those tiny decisions. Let that sink in. Now, how am I going to share with you the multitask part of this puzzle? So if I had more time, I would be more successful. I'm going to flip the switch on that. And the way that I'm going to flip the switch is you don't need more time. You need to focus your time. That may feel like a burn. It's not intended to be that way because I used to say, if I needed more time, if I needed more time, if I had more time, I'd be more successful. And what I realized, because that really made me resentful, it made me resentful because I felt like everybody else's needs came before my needs, and I was struggling and trying to be successful. And because I was doing things for everyone, as the mom, as the wife, as the business owner, like the last thing on the list was me and the business. Everything else needed to be taken care of because we just needed to function from day to day, right? So what I realized was that I didn't need more time. I didn't need to do all the fluff that I was doing. I needed to focus my time on very specific tasks. And I want to share with you a system that I've created that really, I call it delicious. It's the chef's kiss, because it's multitasking at its best. Because here's another mindset shift that I had to take, or move through, go through, however you want to say it, is that I have memberships, and I felt like I needed to be at my desk, at my computer, because people were paying me. And what I realized is that they were paying me for my expertise and the tools that I give to them each and every month. And I've since taken a step further with what I'm going to share with you right now, because this is what really gets me excited. So for a really long time, I'm going to say at minimum 18 months. It was long. It's been longer than that, but I know specifically I focused on the customer journey, what it looked like as soon as someone purchased, what those next steps were, how I could help them to get the result that they were paying me for. And there were different tools, different resources and things that I used. And one particular tool, I had originally used it to, number one, start collecting feedback from a customer. But Heather's a team member, we were on a call, and she was like, oh, well, why don't you just use this in the membership? And I was like, oh my gosh. In the beginning, nobody used it because I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. So my name is Rhonda. So we call it the Help Me Rhonda button. So if you have a friction, meaning you got a problem, here comes that song, Yo, I'll solve it. You got a problem, you hit Help Me Rhonda. If you have a friction, hit Help Me Rhonda. And what that allows me to do, and most people would text, some people have actually videoed, and now people are using it all the time. But let me go back. So I ask them a question, and then they share with me what their friction point is. So then all I have to do is to record my screen. I go to the dashboard, and I literally tell them the thing that they need in order to accomplish the task. And then that video is sent straight to my customer. Amazing. It is on demand coaching. Amazing. All right. So I want you to think about that. Let that settle in. So for my latest product, turn what you know into a template. Turn what you know into a template. I am so in love with that workshop. I am so in love with this product. One of the things I was like, how can I stay in contact with my customer? I want to make sure that I get all their friction points. And I know if one person has a question, 5 other people have that same question. So inside of Low Ticket Designer, I put the Help Me Rhonda button, but it's specific to Low Ticket Designer. And with the Help Me Rhonda button, people are asking questions. And I was like, how can I stay connected? Well, that's one way. But the other way is a private podcast, and it's called Treading with Coffee. And so the way this system works, time leveraged, I didn't really use AI here. I used experience, multitask, staying connected with your customer. How do we do it? Help Me Rhonda, question comes in, and I'm like, ooh, that's a good question. Let me record a podcast episode on that topic. And I'm going to use the same question that they sent in and shared with me. I'm going to use it as the title. Y'all, the most downloaded episode so far. And so the time leveraged is this. I'm not sitting at my computer all of the time. My folks know I want them to be successful. If they have a problem, they know that I'm available. So I have very specific check-ins. I answer the question and it goes straight to their inbox. But then I take it one step further while I'm sitting there and record the podcast episode and either publish it immediately or schedule it inside of the software. And so I don't need any more time to be successful. I'm focusing my time. I am using time leveraged systems that light me up. Like, I love putting together that system and I love seeing it work. It worked immediately. Like we had the onboarding call and there were help me Rhonda questions that came in later in the afternoon. That day, I literally answered her question and I told her I'm going to feature this question. So if there's private information, I don't share private information, but if someone's asking a question that I know the community as a whole can use, I will use that question. And I won't say the customer's name, right? So privacy, right? And like publish it. I am focusing my time and attention serving my customer at the highest level. And low ticket designer in terms of price tag is very accessible. I feel like I'm going to do a little bit of a side note here. For whatever reason, there is this huge, like, launch a low ticket. That could mean anything. And in launching a low ticket, it's like, what do I include? How many videos? How many assets? How many bonuses? What things do I include in order to launch? And people are selling things like that. And it doesn't really give them a framework to plug into. And it's kind of wide open. Turn what you know. So important, like I'm underlining that, into a template, something specific. And I don't care the vehicle. The vehicle is the template. The template can be a Google Doc, a Notion, a Trello, Asana, ClickUp, doesn't matter to me. It's what your person, like what you're comfortable doing. And you're solving one very, very small problem. So turn what you know into a template, something extremely specific, and launch it. Plus the versatility of it. I mean, you can use it for a premium offer. You can use it as just a funnel. You can use it into a coaching program. You can use it into a membership. There are many, many ways that you can use a template and this low ticket. Do I think you need it? 100%. It's a micro yes. It's the first step. Rather have a bunch of paying customers that I'm supporting, that I send information to, like I'm doing this each and every week. And if I offer something and it works for them, fantastic. And if it's not today, maybe it's tomorrow, maybe it's 6 months from now. I ain't going anywhere. So circling back, I don't need more time to be successful. I need to focus my time and attention. And how do we do that? We leverage our time. How can we do that? By documenting the process, the one that you're constantly doing. If you're saying I need more time, then every time you sit down, you are redoing things. Like you need to be just like looking at checklists. If you have a team, it needs to be documented in that project management tool. So as soon as you check something, it tags somebody else to complete that task. How do we use AI? AI is your coach. AI protects your blind side. Internally, like that is one way to really use AI and streamline. I will just say here for just a quick second, when it comes to AI, is that it needs to be conversational. I think that also helps to lower the barrier for you to use AI. Like I will say, please, I will say, thank you. Sometimes my sentences are not fully coherent. I'm sure spellings are misspelled, but I feel if you think about AI as a coach and you were just asking questions and you're going to start to train your AI, right? And then multitask. This particular system where it is a friction point, the friction point are questions that your customer is having. You are serving and responding, leveraging time. And then you're also taking that to a one-to-many. You can use that same thing, one-to-many, and serving the larger community. That is a chef's kiss system. And I started using it with my membership. And then I added the private podcast to Low Ticket Designer. And it's just a beautiful circle of life. All right. And so I recommend, if you're saying to yourself, if I had more time, I'd be successful. I'd be more successful. I've been with it. You are. I have. And I was resentful. I was overwhelmed. I was stressed out. I was frustrated because I knew I was capable of doing what I saw other people doing. You just need to focus on the right task. All right. Take care. We'll talk soon.